to the channel. How's everybody doing? Good. Okay. Well, it's been a couple of days since I posted. That's really kind of inevitable. It's going to happen with me being an over-the-road truck driver. I got a couple things I want to talk to you about today. One of them are going to be, I've got a video coming out on maybe Sunday, Monday, something like that, of my daughter's birthday party. And then we have another video coming out probably sometime next week. I'll get into that later on. But today's video is going to be about 5 things to avoid or look out for while riding a motorcycle. A lot of these things on this list are going to be things that you should look out for even in a car, 18-wheeler, whatever. But specifically for motorcycles, today is what we're going to talk about. And like I said, these are for just things that I came up with that maybe might be useful to y'all, might help some of y'all riders out. So let's get right into it. Before we get into that, actually, I had one other thing I was going to tell you. I just ordered a mic for the GoPro, so now as soon as we get the mic in, which is supposed to come in tomorrow, which will be Saturday, I'll be able to install that and get the GoPro mounted back onto the helmet. And hopefully, if the weather will clear up, maybe try to ride a little bit, get an actual moto vlog going, because that's what the channel is kind of supposed to be like, but this is going to be kind of just me vlogging about anything, whether it be what I'm doing today, vacations, anything like that. So I just wanted to let y'all know on that. I know that's been one thing that I haven't done yet that I've been saying I was going to do, and but I finally got it ordered, so I'll be getting that installed probably tomorrow when it comes in, and we'll go from there. The first thing, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be stupid drivers. Like I said, this is something you should watch out for even in a regular vehicle, but definitely on a motorcycle. There's a lot of things that I've ran into in the past couple of years that I've been riding that wasn't necessarily my fault. Sometimes not necessarily the driver's fault, just a bad instance. But you know, people texting and driving, you need to watch out for people like that. Don't forget, you know, as far as the texting and driving goes, Georgia is a hands-free state. So, you know, texting and driving is illegal. I'm not going to be the one to go up to a car and say, hey, put your phone down, you know, none of that. Just because I don't want to irritate nobody. I just want to get out there and ride and cruise. But, you know, for the people who live in Georgia who text and drive, don't do it. If you're going to do it, you will eventually get caught. People swerving all through the lanes and not paying attention, not using their indicators, stuff like that. You know, that's one thing that really irritates me is that the fact that it only takes a half a second to indicate whether you're going left or right. And, I mean, I do it sometimes just out of habit, pulling into my own driveway, you know, or pulling out of my driveway. It's just a habit. And it's a habit that some people, everybody actually needs to make, they need to make that a habit. It's also people who tend to get road rage and act out. You know, if I come past you, you're going 65 miles an hour and I pass you going 70, or I come around you because you're in the fast lane and you're going slower than I am, you know, don't get mad and get up on my butt. You know, don't come ride me because you weren't in the proper lane going the proper speed. Because what's going to happen is when, you know, there's another car in front of me going slower, or if there's debris in the road, or anything that could potentially be a hazard, and I have to hit the brakes, and you're behind me because you got mad because I sped past you, whatever, what are you going to do when I have to hit the brakes? You're going to cause a wreck. You know, whether it be running into the back of me or running into another car. you know, and letting that road rage get to you is going to cost somebody's life. So, in conclusion to that, just everything summed up. Watch out for idiot drivers. Watch out for people who could care less if you're on a motorcycle or in a car. All right, guys. Number two. This is one thing that I look out for in particular. And it's something that's actually kind of hard to really look out for, per se. But I do try to keep an eye out for it, especially on 18-wheelers. But what it is blowouts. You know, I don't know how many of y'all have ever seen a blowout actually occur, but I've actually had it happen to me in an 18-wheeler, and I've actually seen it done on, you know, I've actually had it happen to me in a car, 18-wheeler, and I've seen it actually happen, you know. But when that wheel blows out, you know, they got all that debris that comes off, all the metal shards and all the wire that's around the wheel and everything. So I try my best to stay away from the side of any vehicle, whether that be a car or 18-wheeler or anything of that nature, because I know that if something like that, God forbid, were to happen, that would really mess me up or any of you up, you know, who ride, because, like I said, when that wheel comes off, it's coming right for you. It's coming right out, and it's going to hit you, you know, and going 70 plus miles an hour, however fast you're going, getting hit with something like that could potentially knock you off your bike. Number 3. This is another thing that I've had happen to me, and it was actually, it's funny because it's not funny, but it happened to me while I was taking my wife around on the bike for a ride. It was actually one of the times that we, you know, me and her have only ridden together a few times, you know, just a handful of times. And anyways, going down the road, and a dog jumped out in front of us, and I had to lock up the brakes. Luckily, we didn't fall or hit the dog or anything like that. It was one of those, you know, really lucky situations. But, you know, going through neighborhoods or any type of area where has houses lined up and down the road, keep a lookout for animals in general, even deer, anything like that, because that's also leads back to what I said for number 2. You're going even 45 miles an hour. If you hit something, a deer jumps out and hits you, a dog jumps out and you run over it, the chances of you keeping that bike up are not very likely. You're going to end up falling and hurting you and your partner if they're riding with you, if you have a partner riding with you. Just keep an eye out, you know. When you're riding, just kind of glance both ways every once in a while, making sure that there's nothing on the side of the road that's going to jump out in front of you, because I actually had, my buddy Darian told me that dogs will actually run out in front of you because they feel intimidated when you're on a motorcycle. When something's really loud, something coming down the road, they're intimidated. So out of just pure reaction, they'll jump right out in front of you, and like I said, you'll end up hitting it, swerving, trying to miss it. You're going to end up falling off the bike. So keep that in mind. That's one other thing that you should always look out for. Number 4. Now, this one is something that a lot of people probably won't think about, and probably really won't pay any attention to, but smokers. I've heard of instances where going down the road, somebody will be done with their cigarette, flick it out the door, and it'll fall into a biker's jacket. Now, when that happens, what is anybody going to do? Out of reaction, you're going to freak out. You know, you're not going to be calm and contempt and try to take the jacket off. I mean, you're going to freak out because it's going to be burning you, obviously. When you're smoking, if you smoke, if you're a smoker, try to have an ashtray in your car. Somewhere you can put your cigarette butts, anything like that, because if I'm going down the road and a cigarette butt hits me in the face, falls in my jacket, hits me in the hand, anything like that, and burns me, like I said, out of reaction, I'm gonna freak out. I don't know what would happen. I might lock up the brakes just because I'm scared. I might, you know, run into somebody else because I'm trying to focus on not the road. Be on the lookout for that. Smokers, anything like that. And like I said before, if you are a smoker, get an ashtray for your car. They make little ashtrays that go inside your cup holder. When you're done with your cigarette, throw it in there, and now you don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about it. The next biker ain't got to worry about it. You know, so keep that in mind. Number 5. Now, this is one of those things that you don't necessarily look for per se. It's something that you should check before you go riding, before you even plan a ride, whether it be by yourself, with your buddies, whatever. And that would be the weather. I always check the weather before I go anywhere. Typically because in Georgia, you don't know what the weather's going to be. It could be 95 degrees and sunny one day. It could be snowing the next day, especially around this time of year. But there is a couple of people out there who will go ride in any sort of weather. And, you know, if you're that guy, hey, more power to you. I'm really not. I'll ride in the rain if necessary, you know, if I'm already out and it starts raining. And even if I check the weather and it says it's not going to rain and it does, you know, I'll drive in it if it's necessary. But I try to avoid it at all times because the risks are much higher, you know, riding in the rain on a motorcycle, even fully equipped for the rain. You know, just the roads being slicker and, you know, the mist coming up, depending on how bad it's raining, you know, people won't pay. They'll be more focused on driving and being safe in their vehicle rather than actually paying attention to you. So always check the weather. You know, you can download the Weather Channel app if you've already got an app on your iPhone, you know, or any phone that you got. Typically, they come with a weather app. All right, folks, that's going to wrap this one up. This was just kind of a interesting video, I thought. Something I could just put out there. You know, I thought it would be kind of cool. I'm thinking about doing some more of these videos, so if y'all have any ideas for any other videos, something of this nature, send me something in the comments, let me know. And if you like this video, leave a thumbs up, comment, like I said, subscribe, share the video, and we will see you on the next one.